Teachers, what was the worst thing a substitute teacher did while you were gone? Back when I was a teacher, I had a sub decide my plans weren't good enough for her and went rogue. She decided to show my students videos of animals giving birth on YouTube. I taught English. Rearranged my room. Not in a moved student A away from student B and put her by student C way. In a move the giant rug over to the opposite corner of the room and completely change the layout of the student desks and rearrange a bookshelf kind of way. I had a cool Chinese lucky cat that went missing after I had a sub. My student said the sub seemed really intrigued by it, talked about it several times, and even moved it from the shelf where it's at and brought it over to my desk. It was gone when I returned the next day. Left my perfectly prepped and neat desk an absolute disaster, did not follow the lesson plan, and took my gel pens. When I was a substitute, I got a lot of requested jobs because the substitute pool was poor. One such example given to me was a substitute who would just go to sleep. I barely believed it. Once I was teaching full-time, I had a sub come in for a day. When I got back, my students told me that he told them to leave him alone, sat down, and went to sleep. I believed it then. I would occasionally give out starbursts to my 4th graders. Bitch ate all the pink ones. I was a teacher's assistant while in college. The teacher and I took a week-long workshop and had a sub. The worst thing she did. Not letting the kids go to the bathroom. It was in kindergarten and she said all the kids going to the bathroom were interrupting the class. One girl wet herself. School policy was if kids under a certain age had an accident, the nurse would give them a pull-up to wear. The substitute proceeded to make fun of the girl for wearing a diaper, calling her baby and such. The little girl ended up facing repercussions at home too. It was devastating to hear about. I came back after being gone one day, and my students told me the substitute teacher flipped over tables in a rage and was escorted from the building by a cop. What actually happened is that the sub left the room to take a 20-minute phone call, and the kids thought it would be funny to flip the tables over. The substitute then had to flip the tables right side up while yelling at the kids. Then, during lunch, my special education co-teacher came into my room to set up and caught the sub making out with the student. Turns out, she was 18 to his 25, and the 20-minute phone call was to set up the lunch meeting. The principal then had him escorted from the building by the resource officer. This is why I say having a sub is more work than just coming into school my damn self. Gave out snacks I bought with my own money that I kept for kids who stayed after to get tutoring. Threw out a broken electric pencil sharpener that kids broke in front of her. Which again, I bought with my own money and couldn't get replaced by the company because I had no product to send back. I still don't have a sharpener for my room. Let the kids go through my things in my cabinets and desk. Lost a bunch of stuff that way. 1. Ask a deaf kid to take off his hearing aids. Kids tried to tell her he needs them, but to her they look like headphones. She cried when she was confronted by another teacher. 2. When I was in the 6th grade I fractured my wrist, but it was my dominant hand, so I had to poorly write with my right hand. Teacher forced me to write with my left hand while I had a cast. I couldn't even grasp the pencil. Cried a lot. Then a couple months go by and got my cast off. The sub told me to suck it up and write with my left hand, hours after getting my cast off. It felt like jelly and intense pain. Teacher was fired at the end of 7th grade because of unnecessary complaints. I'm a little late to the party, but here it goes. I had a grade 1 and 2 class last year and one student had diabetes. Let's call him Adam. So Adam had a cell phone that beeps when his blood sugar is too low or high. It's connected to the monitor in his arm and hip. The cell phone has no other uses, no apps, no data, and not connected to the school Wi-Fi. The substitute saw his phone on his desk and promptly took it away as per the no devices rule. During gym class, an EA comes in to make sure everything is okay and Adam is visibly ill. Pale, sweating, the whole works. Luckily, this EA knows Adam's medical plan and instantly asks Adam for the phone. He explains that the substitute took it away in the morning. The EA then loses it on the substitute demanding the phone. The substitute calls the principal to reprimand the EA, then gets reprimanded herself as obviously she did not read the student safety plans. She was asked to leave and the principal taught the class the rest of the day. Adam was fine, drank a couple juice boxes and had a granola bar. Mom picked him up shortly after.